This is Jeremy, by the way.
Good morning.
Morning.
So you are the 279 telephone exchange icon?
That's me.
Okay, good. Well, I'll call the meeting to order and note for the record, we have a quorum, a full membership of the board present and participating. The first item of business on our agenda is to review and approve the minutes of the Monday, January 3 meeting minutes, which were posted that evening. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
I think it's an admirable job considering how I recall the discussion in that meeting.
Sorry, do I take that as a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
Why, sure.
Is there a second? It's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the motion, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. And the ayes have it, and the minutes have been approved. Thank you for that. Is there anyone, Eric, as far as you can tell from the public, who's logged into the meeting?
There is not.
Thank you. That brings us in the agenda to the one substantive item that was carried over from Monday, and that is the review and action on the rebuttal text to the two reports, which the text was circulated yesterday afternoon, and with respect to which I understand that the four members of the board who would be endorsing that as part of the two reports have agreed and are signed off on that. Is that a valid conclusion?
That is my understanding.
Okay. So
I just want to state for the record that I didn't come to any conclusions with anybody about anything except for Rob and Jeremy. So I did not reach out to a quorum of the board.
Okay.
Nobody did.
Okay.
Okay. But are you, let me ask it this way. Are you ready for ready for the question, i.e. to vote on the inclusion of the revised rebuttal text in the two main reports?
Yes.
Okay. Would someone...
I have a question, sorry, before we do that.
Go ahead.
Just trying to understand what we voted on Monday. It's my understanding that we already approved the inclusion of the rebuttal. We just didn't, there was just an interest in extending time for those who were involved in drafting it to approve the text of it. So that's what I was understanding there would be a vote on today, that we already approved inclusion of the rebuttal because that was the condition on which we approved including the minority report.
Right. I think that's right, that we approved the inclusion of a rebuttal.
Right.
But
there was a delay in the actual text, right, approval of the text of the rebuttal.
It seems to make sense to take another vote for just to bring closure to that. I think we all understand what the outcome of the vote is very likely to be, but I think it makes sense for closure to take a vote. So would anyone like to make a motion and have that seconded?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mary.
I'll move to include the minority report, the rebuttal from the majority, and the minority acknowledgement of the rebuttal in the final published report.
And I'll second.
Well, okay. The question I have about that, Mary, is whether voting in the affirmative on that motion is voting to endorse the content of the rebuttal or not. And that's what I was anticipating more was a motion on the rebuttal itself, and anticipating what that vote would look like. And then we would go on to a discussion of the three words that the minority members are adding to the acknowledgement. Is that
raises an interesting question, Tom, because last time I was the sole vote no. Are you saying that the three people that voted from the majority in favor of the inclusion of the minority report were endorsing it?
No, I think the way that motion was framed was to include a minority report, not to endorse the content of the minority report that had been prepared.
Okay.
And that's the distinction I think I'm trying to draw. Mary?
I guess I was trying to shorten this meeting as much as I possibly could by not asking anybody to endorse anything, but just to get it all published. Because I think the minority has endorsed its report and its response to the rebuttal, and the majority has endorsed the Ed Adrian version of the rebuttal, in my understanding, and nobody's going to cross-endorse.
Right, and I'm just trying to walk through some motions on that so that we have the record clear.
If you'd like, I'll be happy to withdraw my motion.
Or perhaps you could amend it. Well, why don't you withdraw? It makes more sense.
Tom, honestly, I don't think this is unclear. I think this is perfectly clear. We're talking about the inclusion of these parts. We know where we stand. The record is clear. Can we just get on with it?
I think the overwhelming majority is ready to be done.
No, I'm not trying to prolong this at all. I'm just trying to respect the wishes of those of us on both sides of this, and not have any misunderstandings or confusion about the significance of a yes or a no vote. So perhaps the motion could be that the board approve the inclusion of the revised rebuttal text and the revised acknowledgement text, understanding that vote does not connote endorsement of the content of either one. Is that?
I'll accept that amendment.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Thank you, Rob. Any questions or debate? Seeing none, all in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye or hand raised. Aye.
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 Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is approved. The only other item on the agenda is to set the next meeting date, which I think we can leave open and treat it on an as needed basis. I'm not aware of any other business. To the extent, Chris, are you aware of any mechanism by which a public body such as this can how it can have the meeting minutes of its final meeting approved without having another meeting and then having minutes of that meeting to approve?
It's funny, Tom. Mary and Eric and I were talking about that as the first ones on the meeting today. It's sort of an infinity mirror effect here. I'm not aware. I could research that. It seems like Eric can be ready to have, I don't know, I'll ask Eric. Do you have a draft of the minutes you could put up right now and you all could take a look at it?
I do. I'm just finalizing the text on the last motion and vote, but other than that, it's all captured.
I don't know why that's confusing to you, Eric. So
very clear motion.
Well, to be clear though, meeting minutes don't actually even need to be approved. I understand why we would want them for the record and whatnot, but they can just be posted as is without us reconvening to approve them.
They could be unapproved if you're all comfortable with that. They could sit out there like that forever.
I'm sure Eric is going to just write a little short story to put in there, just, you know, just for fun. Yeah, of course he wouldn't do that. And in fact, I'll take this minute to thank Chris, Eric, and Mia again, because it's been a journey and couldn't have gotten anywhere without all of your assistance. So just wanted to thank you all again.
Yeah, and just to, in case anybody needs to be brought up to date, I understand Gene testified before the House GovOps Committee yesterday and made a nice presentation, I heard. And the committee is going to be sending the minority map out to the boards of civil authority for comment. And see what they get back from that. And they will also be calling some member of the majority in to testify on the majority map at some point.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well.
Not sure I'm entirely clear on the last part of that, but.
Well, the committee, I listened to some of the legislative committee deliberations, and there was a discussion about which map to send out to boards of civil authority for comment and reaction. And I guess what prevailed was the alternate House map, and what was said in favor of doing it that way in part was that the boards of civil authority had already had a chance to react to the other map, and this would give them a chance to react to the alternate map, understanding that both maps are sort of in the public domain, and boards of civil authority will do what they will do when they respond. And I think that could happen as early as the beginning of next week. Chris, I mentioned sort of in a side note to the chair of that committee and the committee assistant that they may want to check in with you and your staff about exactly how to get that out to the boards of civil authority, since we had one or two hiccups in that, and that they might want to consult with you about the best way to do that.
Okay, thanks for the heads up on that, Tom. I think we learned some things from towns that didn't necessarily get notice right away. I think we had some bad addresses in there, and we did our best to work through those. So happy to help them learn from our efforts.
Eric, do you have something you want to post, or do you just want to let the unapproved minutes sit out there? Do you?
I think that's a call for you all, but I'm happy to share my screen with the minutes that I've got.
Sure.
I'll start there. The one thing I wasn't positive who had seconded the motion of approval of the prior minutes. I need to circle back around.
I think I did. That was Jeremy.
It was Jeremy, okay.
Could you scroll down the rest of the way, please, Eric? So you gave us the full back and forth.
Looks good to me.
Okay.
Eric, I think you have a second career in court reporting if you want to go in that direction.
So
I thought you're supposed to do what you love.
So Rob, is that a motion to approve the minutes?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, this is Mary.
Seconded by Mary. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say no.
I'm going to abstain because I can't see the screen.
Aha. Okay, with one abstention, the meeting minutes are approved.
Now, how are we going to record the approval of the motion to adjourn?
We're just going to leave.
Tom, you're going to write a little poem about that.
No, I think there should be a sentence that just trails off in the middle.
Dot.
Well,
one question quick for Chris. I'd like to give you a phone call. Could you give me the best number to reach you?
Sure. I'll give out my I don't want to give out my cell right here, Tom. Why don't you give me your phone number?
Okay, 249-1493.
Got it. I'll call you right after this.
Thank you.
With seeing no objection, we'll stand in adjournment. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Happy New Year.